So there are rumors swelling now that former Vice President Joe Biden is thinking of not running for president after the allegations leveled against him by one Lucy Flores, among others. It's no surprise to me that Biden's touchy-feely approach has become problematic in the Me Too era. And even if this blow does not outright kill his candidacy, it may mortally wound it. And it's for this reason now that former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg is waiting in the wings to take over for Biden were he to be incapacitated, shall we say. Bloomberg's a billionaire, and he really doesn't like all these left-wingers in the party getting on top of him and beating down on billionaires and hating on capitalism. He's wanted more than anything to jump into the race and to try and smack them down a bit and hopefully stop one of the lefties from getting nominated. However, Bloomberg was smart enough to realize that if he were to get in, he would probably split the vote with Biden and then make it much easier for one of these left-wingers to get nominated. So therefore, Bloomberg was happy sitting back and allowing a good old boy like Joe Biden to jump into the race, since he knew no matter what rhetoric Biden may have to resort to in order to win the nomination, he would always play ball in the end. But frankly, considering how much Biden already had going against him, his whiteness, his maleness, his age, and of course his actual ideas, I can't see how now adding on a Me Too effect to his candidacy as well could make him at all viable in a Democratic primary. I mean, frankly, I think that what voters in the Democratic primary are most interested in is finding an anti-Trump. And by that, I don't just mean somebody who is against Trump. I mean somebody who is against who is the exact opposite of everything they perceive Trump to be. And they perceive Trump to be a rich, white man who abuses women. And while Joe Biden maybe isn't rich, relative to all the other rich candidates running for president, he is a white, male, old, and apparently abuses women. Now, I don't think that Joe Biden is some secret rapist or something like Bill Cosby or anything, but it's very clear that the Democrats don't like men who, touch women or anything these days. And frankly, I don't think that most Democratic voters could relate to someone like Joe Biden anymore. I think that the era in which Joe Biden occupied the Democratic Party is over. I think he frankly should just retire like Jimmy Carter, because if Jimmy Carter ran for office today, he could never win a Democratic primary. Joe Biden will probably end up just like Jim Webb in the end, sitting there at the end of on the edge of the debate stage, sounding completely nuts to everyone else on stage because he's just so out of touch with the rest of them. Joe Biden can try and put on a facade of some sort of a more left-leaning ideology, but it's just he has such a long record that nobody will take him seriously. I mean, nobody could think that Biden has suddenly become a revolutionary convert at age, 78 or something. So therefore, enter Bloomberg once Biden's numbers have tanked and while his candidacy is on life support to try and institute the coup de grace and finally take him out once and for all. Bloomberg will not try and play this game between the liberals and the communists and trying to walk some sort of middle line to where he can get form a big tent and unite the party. Bloomberg will run as an unabashed neoliberal. He will trash the socialists rhetorically. And he will have an unlimited budget to get his message out there. And if he's smart, he will not put his face or his voice in any of his ads. Because, of course, any of you have heard Michael Bloomberg talk, he's fairly unlikable. But Bloomberg at this point is an elderly billionaire. He's completely set in his ways, and he's not going to try and adjust the way he thinks in order to court more of the Democratic votes, I don't think. I think he would only run for president really out of frustration. His candidacy would be a bit of a Hail Mary for the cosmopolitan corporate left. I see no path for Bloomberg. Even if it got down to a one-on-one race, there's no candidate that I can see Bloomberg beating head-on. And none of the other candidates besides Bernie, I think, have the conviction to hang on and keep running when they know they're going to lose. So eventually this is going to end up being a one-on-one race again with somebody. I think it's going to be Bernie and someone else. I don't really see Bernie taking third place in this race. Bloomberg can stay in as long as he wants, though, because he has a massive personal fortune. He can keep spending money even after the election's over. So in the coming weeks, we'll want to watch closely for Biden's next move, because that should determine how Bloomberg responds in the future. If you got anything of value out of this video, I'd appreciate you clicking that like button and subscribing, because I do upload every day, and I hope to see you all back here tomorrow.